Hello everyone, Jeff from RespawnStudios.com and EasyXbox360Achievements.com back with part 2 of my LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 Characters Guide. I decided to make this into 3 parts because otherwise part 2 would have been about an hour. So we are going to cover, I think, 43 characters in this one. So this is when you come back into Hogwarts from the Hog's Head during Deathly Hallows Part 2. You just have to strong pull that box in the corner. Alright, this is, I think, toward the end of year 7. You're outside the tent, and you just have to use the fishing rod, and you get Albert Runcorn. Okay, this is during the first story mission in the Ministry of Magic. You need to use a wizard with dark powers, so I'm using Voldemort. And you get Arthur's suit. Alright, this is not missable, but I'm trying to cover every character, so I'm going to show this. This is the duel with Bellatrix. You first have to duel her, and then you defeat 4 enemies. You duel her again, defeat a few enemies again, and then you duel her for the 3rd time. And this is that 3rd time. And when you defeat her, you unlock Bellatrix, who I assume would also be a dark magic character to use. I just like using Voldemort, because he was the first dark character I found when I was going through my character list. Alright, there we go. Bellatrix Lestrange. Alright, now we need to be in Nocturne Alley, which you access at the bottom of Diagon Alley. You have to use the red spell on the lock. And you just come in here and start hitting crap with spells. So I've already gotten 1 character token. Now you just walk down this hallway. That was the 2nd twin sister. Now we get Sirius Azkaban. And then use Reducto again down here at the bottom. And we get the 1st twin. So 3 characters really quick in Nocturne Alley. Okay, this is during the 2nd story mission. When you're in the bar, you have to use Reducto or the red spell to break down into the basement. And then there's a wheelchair where I just circled, and you just run the wheelchair over the ground there, and that character token pops out. Okay, this is another one just outside of a tent in between one of the year 7 missions. You're actually able to come back to all of these areas once you beat the game. But you just use the red spell, trace the shape, and jump inside. Alright, this is the astronomy tower. You just use a spell on the telescope, and you get Antonin Dolohov. Alright, now this is back in one of the classrooms in Hogwarts. Ron had to use the Deluminator to bring light, and when he puts it up in that lantern, it pisses the plants off, which drops this knight head, and then you just Wingardium Leviosa the knight's head back onto the knight, the suit of armor. And he does his little jumpy dance. And there we go. Cho Chang. Okay, this is back in the first story mission. You just have to use Agumenti, which you didn't have when you did it the first time, so this is in free play. Let me just fill it up and you get it. Okay, this is outside of the Gryffindor common room. There are 2 suits of armor in front of those torches, and you have to use Reducto on both of them. So that's what I'm showing you now, even though they're gone, and it's just highlighting the banners. Okay, this is in a courtyard at Hogwarts. You have to raise these 3 plants. We'll put them together with Wingardium Leviosa. And then, as is the case with most things that you have to create, you then destroy them. So there we go. There's the first 2. And then we come across here. There's also a red brick, gold brick, and another character. So this is a very happening courtyard. You probably know where this is. So you put the 3rd plant together, aim up a spell, and hit that one. And you got it. Ginny dress. Okay, back in the astronomy tower, there's this red globe, And you just have to hit it with the red spell a couple times. And you get Grindelwald Old. And still in the Astronomy Tower. I think this is now Grindelwald Young. You just have to use Hermione on this runes bookcase. Just put in the correct order. And there we go, Grindelwald Young. Alright, this was actually my select collectibles last guide, and I decided not to edit it down because I think, I don't know, I just like this underwater section. It's funny to see them in like their Lego thongs. But this is when you have to get the Sword of Gryffindor in the ice. So it's a swimming section. And to get that collectible, you have to use the hammer to use on the ice underneath me for the main part of the story, but instead use the hammer on that character little bit of ice on the side. So you have to Wingardium Leviosa, that piece of bait out for the fish, which then pulls the line and makes this these pieces come down. Then you get this hammer. Once you Wingardium Leviosa, as always, them together. So instead of using the hammer right away on that, bring it over here. And bam, Harry Locket. Okay, this is in Hogsmeade. This is right outside of 3 broomsticks. There are 7 icicles, and you just have to aim spells and knock them. It seems kind of finicky, though. Like, when you aim spells and it seems to hit it directly, it doesn't count sometimes, so just stick with it. I kept hitting my AI partners because they kept moving right in front of me as well, so you just have to keep moving around, and eventually you'll get it. See, like, that made no sense. It seemed to hit it directly. But there we go. And we get Harry Winter. Okay, this is in the second story mission, Dumbledore's Army. This is toward the end. I was trying to use the dig spot. Well, actually I was trying to use the Weasley box, but I accidentally tried to use the dig spot. So you need to get that Weasley box, and then use Ron to put the shoes on, then use another character. In this case, I'm switching to Hermione to get Crookshanks to dig out the piece that you raise up. So you need a second character to use Wingardium Leviosa on this walkway piece. And it's weird because like they don't hold it when you switch to Ron, but I was able to get on it and then jump up and get Hermione's scarf. Okay, this is in the tent area. This is when you come back to this area, actually. So the tent is gone, and you just hit a rock there, and you get James Potter Ghost. Alright, this is back in one of the classrooms. You just have to keep hitting this statue. You hit it 3 times. But a quick note, to get to that area with the tents, once you beat the game, in the streets of London, in the back left street, past the guitar and the cafe, there's a car that drove away, and you use Hermione's bag, and it becomes a apparition spot or disapparition spot. Alright, so now this is the very end of the last mission, 8-6. I know it's not year 8, but that's what it's called in the game. You just walk back there and you get Voldemort. But there are these little fires to put out. There are 3 in the first section, so be sure to get those. And then after some other cutscenes and little duels, you come back to that second area, and you put out those other 2 fires. Okay, this is in the Lovegood house. You have to knock all of these things around, and then they put themselves together to make a little drum set. And I was confused. I thought you just had to wait this out, because sometimes it's what you have to do. Other times you just have to hit them with spells, and that's apparently what I had to do here, but I just stand around for a while. But you can just hit it when it gets put together. And there we go. Luna purple coat. Alright, this is another non-missable one. Well, actually it is. You have to... This is in the Battle of Hogwarts mission, right before the end of the game. You have to give these 3 wizards, I think they're all professors, different items. But it's weird. You have to get this character token right before the cutscene, and the second you give McGonagall it, the token appears, and then it goes to a cutscene. So be sure that McGonagall, who's right here in the center, is the last person you give the item to. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get this character, I don't think, because you wouldn't be anywhere near it, and it goes right to the cutscene that ends that sequence. Alright, this is on between the path to Hogwarts from Hogsmeade Station and Hogsmeade itself. You just use Reducto on a barrel there. There's a student in peril that comes out first, and then just hit it again. Then you get the character token. Alright, this is back in Nocturne Alley in Borgin and Burke's. You have to use a dark wizard to destroy the treasure chest, and then put this skeleton together, and then hit him with a spell. There we go, Mrs. Black. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you do need to be a dark wizard. There's a red piece back there. It's like a rocket, and it bounces off the walls and makes Mrs. Cole appear in this little cafe, which is on the streets of London. Okay, back in Borgin and Burke's. You could use anyone. You just have to use Agumenti on this back case. It's sort of like a little aquarium. You don't have to put together this door to the bonus level, but I did, because I wasn't sure if they were related. And I was just hitting buttons to do spells. Alright, so you just hit that tank, and it turns into this fish randomly, and you get Narcissa Malfoy. Okay, this is back in that courtyard at Hogwarts that we were in with the hanging plants earlier. You now have to use the Quibbler box to put on the Luna glasses. And then you're able to put together these pieces that piss this plant off and makes it shoot you up into the air, where you get a gold brick and Neville. Neville Waiter. Okay, this is back in the second mission of the game. This is the very start of it, Dumbledore's Army. You just got, I think it was Dean, to put together the bridge. And you could use that Quibbler box, so you want to use someone to put on the glasses and then walk right into the water. So once you have the glasses, come back to the opening area, and you get to put together, I think it's a snowman. And he does his little dance, takes off his hat. And there we go. Neville Winter. Alright, this is back in Nocturne Alley, but you have to be a dark wizard. And there is a potion area in the Leaky Cauldron. So I just changed into Voldemort and then ran down there. You just use dark magic right when you enter. Okay, this is during a story mission. Right before you do the underwater section. This might be right after, actually, but you go to that back corner with the snowman, and you just raise it up, and he gives you that Ron outfit. Now, again, this is the area outside of the tents that you could access through the streets of London if you disapparate back here. And then you need to be a dark wizard. So again, I'm just Voldemort, and you use the spells, and I got 2 quick characters there, Scabier and Lucius Malfoy. And this is that same area, a little further along. You just use dark magic on another set of the similar dark branches, and you get Snatcher. Alright, this is a story mission. You're trying to get to the Grey Lady who's behind those flames, and you have to use Agumenti to put this water together to put out the flames. But before you go back to the Grey Lady, which ends this section, be sure to hit this statue. And he pulls out the Grey Lady character token. Alright, this is back in the cafe, access via the streets of London. I think you have to be a dark wizard again. Alright, so this first one, you open up that cabinet, then you're able to use this on the back table, and you get Thorfinn Rowell. And then you could be anyone for this one. You just have to Wingardium Leviosa these brushes around the table. I think you could be anyone. I think it's just when you're a dark wizard it has the red lines instead of the purple around the objects. So you just use them across the table, and you get Dolohov Workman. Okay, again, this is just outside of a tent area. I was just hitting crap with spells, and I got Xenophilius Lovegood. So I had to start recording. That's why I started pause there. Okay, and this is another section. This is where we are outside of the tent with the 3 characters we just got earlier. This is another one in that same exact area. Alright, and now this is what I was telling you about. In the streets of London, you use Hermione's bag here. I think this is actually the last collectible for this video, so this is kind of convenient, but it's also inconvenient because it's at the very end. Maybe I should have had this at the beginning. But that's where you do it, just past the cafe in the street of London, and you use Hermione's bag, and then it turns into a disapparition point. And you use it, you come right into the tent, and then as Hermione, you use the runes bookcase. And we get our last character of part 2. I hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Xenophilius Wedding. I'll see you for part 3 soon.